We're trying to calculate the height or the altitude of a right triangle. And the formula basically boils down to this. If you have two sides, so in this case side A and B, you can use this formula. So 1 over the square root of the proportions 1 over A squared plus 1 over B squared will give you that height when you're given these two sides. So let's look at an example. So in here, this is an example. Now I would just have to find the missing side. Hopefully most of you know this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. If not, you can use A squared plus B squared equals C squared in proportion, and you can find for it. So most of you know A squared plus B squared is C squared. For right now, I know I have C squared, which is 5 squared. And that would be equal to A squared, which I don't know A squared. So I don't know what A squared is. And B squared, I know to be 4 squared. Now, some basic algebra. To solve for A, I just have to move the 4 to the other side and then take the square root of these. So I'm going to do a little bit of cheating. I'm just going to rearrange the formula here and make this minus. And what some of you should remember from algebra, anything to the 1/2 power is the same thing as a square root. So 1 divided by 2 is the square root. Same thing as a square root. So, and I'm just going to calculate that. And it told me that this side is 3, which stands to reason because this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Now, if I use this formula, it should give me that height. So I'm going to do a little bit of cheating and copied it. Copied it. Get rid of this. My A value we determined to be 3. My B value we determined to be 4. So now all I'm going to do is just calculate it. And it gave me this thing, which is 12 over 5. That should be the height. And I can go over here and measure the segment. If it's the scale, it should be the scale. And it gives me 2.4. For those who don't know, it should be the same. So to get a decimal, I just go in here and I just put a decimal point somewhere. Just 1 decimal point, not 2. I hit calculate again. And it's telling me the same thing. That is 2.4. Now the example that was given to me this way, so I created it for students. And what you have here, it's basically the same thing. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cheating. I'm gonna right click and type that formula in. So that's the formula. And this is what it boils down to. We did it a different way in class, but still the same thing. And what I'm going to do is substitute for A. A is usually the smallest side, so in this case, I'm just going to put 11 for A. And for B, I'm going to put 60. Now, if I was looking for side C, hopefully you guys know this is an odd triplet, so it would be 61 would be the hypotenuse. And I'm not going to make you suffer through that. Then here, I'm going to hit calculate. And it's telling me it's this. Now, with this problem, what I had to tell my students, it's not on here, that it's not drawn to scale. But hopefully you get the gist of how to do this.